Welcome Protonians. Today, we are doing a quick explainer for the replacement of the front brakes on your Proton. In this tutorial we will be working on a Satria Neo CPS. First, let's discuss the tools that are minimally needed to do the job. A jack. Socket 19, for my lug nuts in particular. Breaker bar or equivalent. Flat screwdriver to push the caliper piston back. Spanner 13 to release caliper bolt. Spanner 19 to hold the caliper guide pin if it spins. A wire brush to clean the brake pad bracket clips, and if necessary the caliper bracket as a whole. A wrench, with socket 17, to loosen the brake caliper bracket. And of course, a torque wrench to torque everything to spec is a must for beginners, to get a feeling for the amount of force needed to tighten bolts. Step 1. Locate the jack point near the front wheel and place the jack under it. Step 2. Put the handbrake on if your handbrake is working properly, or stub the left back or right back wheel to prevent the car from rolling. The wheel you will be studding is the side you are not jacking up. Step 3. Slightly jack up the car with the wheel still firmly touching the ground. Loosen the lug nuts with your tool of choice. I am using a breaker bar for this. Step 4. Jack the car up until the wheel is off the ground and remove the nuts and wheel. Step 5. Check the brake fluid level before you start, if the brake fluid level is full. Empty some out, as pushing back the caliper piston will be hard if the reservoir is completely full. And it could spill over and damage the paint. Step 6. Push back the caliper piston by wedging the screwdriver in between the caliper and brake pad. Now pull back and the piston will go back in easily. In case the piston doesn't go back easily, you can try and undo the bleeder valve. Step 7. Remove lower bolt from the caliper and open the caliper up. And slide out the top guide pin to remove the caliper. Step 8. Take the old pads out and clean the brake pad retainer clips when reusing. Step 9. Remove the caliper bracket by loosening the two bolts of the caliper bracket. Step 10. Remove the brake disc and clean the hub from rust and dirt. If the brake disc is stuck on the hub, hit it gently on the hub area of the disc to break it loose. Step 11. Put the new disc on and install the caliper bracket. Make sure to tighten the caliper bolts to 100 Newton meters. Step 12. Put the new pads in. You can use a tiny bit of grease on the ears of the pads, but it is not necessary as this will attract dirt faster. Step 13. Reinstall the caliper and bolt it back up. Use a torque wrench and tighten it to 30 Nm. Make sure the bolt is tight. If you don't have a torque wrench, use some Loctite on the bolt. Step 14. Put the wheel back on and hand tighten the nuts. Step 15. Lower the car gently and torque the wheels to spec at 100 Nm. Step 16. Pump up the brakes. The fluid level will drop. Repeat the previous steps for the other side, and when this is done, don't forget to top up the brake fluid with .4 brake fluid. After pumping the brakes, the pedal should feel hard. See you guys at the next one.